Hello?
Neal?
Yes.
Hi, it's Valerie from All Access Magazine. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Good. It's a beautiful morning in Vegas.
Oh, it's beautiful here, too. Yeah, I'm just waking up here, but I'm good. I'm usually up a lot earlier today. Somehow I slept later. But, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. All right, then let's just start out. I just have a few questions that I wanted to ask you. I was actually one of the photographers at the Las Vegas show when you guys were filming. And I got to tell you, that was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen. So it was
very early on in our, tour. I thought it was so early to actually even do a DVD, but we had to get it done for the package to come out when they wanted it to come out. I would have preferred to have been on the road for at least a month or 3 weeks or so to, grind through the stuff a little more. We had very little preparation and rehearsal, and everybody pretty much was on the fly and, doing homework at home.
Right. Well, I just thought it was funny. It was like, okay, good night. Wait a minute. Everybody come back in now.
Yeah, well, we screwed up a couple things. That's what happens when you haven't been playing for a while, and we never do that, but it happens, Filming management just said, go back out there and redo them,
So was it because the video wasn't in sync with what you guys were playing?
Well, we ended up having that problem in the end anyway. The power went out earlier in the day before we started filming, and something had screwed up in the computer, and everything was completely out of sync all the way through the show. And so when they went to sync up, when they were doing the video edits, it was a lot of work. Actually, our producer, Kevin Shirley, had to come in because we weren't available to go in and actually make sure everything was, pretty spot on. The last thing I wanted was anybody thinking that, that we went in and redid anything. Because that was not the case at all. There were no overdubs at all. And so I wanted it to appear as it was, just live. And, the vocals were not syncing up. My guitar was not syncing up. The drums were not syncing up. It was a mess.
My camera synced up, though. I got some really, really good pictures of you guys, so I was happy about that. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know if you saw any of them. I know that a lot of them got picked up by a couple of newspapers in the Philippines, so I was pretty happy about that. But I had sent them over to Amanda, and I don't know.
Oh, great. I'll ask her to send them to me.
Yeah, if you want me to send them to you, I'd be happy to forward them to you. There's some really good, because I was right in front of you.
Oh, well, I was preoccupied with what we were doing that night.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't a night for me to be looking around and kind of cruising. I was just trying to remember the set because it was way different than what we had been doing, and trying to remember the songs.
Right.
It's wild when you go into to record a new record like we did. There was no rehearsal. We wrote the songs. John and I demoed them up, but it really wasn't a whole band playing. And we used a rhythm machine, and I played bass on it or whatever, or he did, and we demoed up the songs like that for everyone to learn before we went in the studio. But really, there was no rehearsal, when you get in the studio. And so you get in there and you listen to the stuff a day. We pick a tune that we're going to do that day, and everybody goes home and listens to the demo, and then we come in the next day and we cut it. And so when you're not really well rehearsed, and like in the old days, we sit in rehearsal for 2-3 weeks or a month. Keep going over it and over and over it. We just kind of go on the fly now anymore, and it's like meet you at the end.
Exactly. So
hopefully everybody's still on the same page,
With the addition of Arnel in your band, you're kind of reaching a completely new demographic. Are you surprised by the reaction of the new fans? Again, like at the Vegas show, I remember looking over my shoulder and going, wait a minute, am I in Vegas or am I in the Philippines? Did you happen to notice if they knew all the lyrics? You're reaching out completely new,
Well, from what Arnel told me, which I was not aware of because we've never played anywhere close to the Philippines, he said that we've been, very big there for years. Journey has. And so I guess we have a lot of fans there. And now that he's also in the band, we have that many more because they're very supportive of their own people, and very supportive of him. And, I think that we're going to have a lot of Filipino fans, which is great, I think anybody new that comes, on board is awesome.
Well, I got to admit, I'm one of the new, I'm 35 years old, and, a lot of your material was kind of for my time, I got to admit. And, the Vegas show was my first Journey show, and being able to be up front and just kind of see the vibe and just the energy that was kind of bouncing back and forth between the band and the audience and everything like that. I've always loved your music, obviously, but you kind of won over one more person here. So.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, before you found Arnel, did you have any other singers in mind?
We were checking out, basically, we were resorting to the internet, and I would say mostly YouTube, because the thing I liked about YouTube is that it was all live performances, and was really not interested in doing a long, drawn-out audition for singers where you fly them in from all over the world, and they send you their packages with their pictures and their CDs of songs that they've done and the demos that they've done with them singing on Journey songs. And, you just never know what's real when you're getting a package like that, because, with Pro Tools today and a computer, you can almost make anybody sound good.
Exactly.
And so I was very, into YouTube for just that reason. I knew that if I was going to hear something, it was absolutely live. And when I stumbled, I looked for a long time. And, I found a couple interesting guys. Jeremy Hunsinger, we were considering him. He actually came out